You see a stranger every single day. On the street, in the elevator, at the traffic light, someone you have never met and will probably never speak to. You glance at them for a fraction of a second, and your brain makes a decision so fast you don't even notice it happening. Friend or threat? That decision is older than language, older than civilization, older than almost everything you think of as human. And the way your ancestors handled it, the way they decided what to do with a face they had never seen before, shaped every society, every city, every war, and every handshake that has ever existed. Think about it. You live in a world of strangers. You walk past hundreds of them every day without a second thought. But for the vast majority of human history, a stranger wasn't just unfamiliar. A stranger was one of the most dangerous things your ancestors could encounter. In a world of small, tight-knit groups, everyone you knew, you really knew. You had grown up with them. You had hunted with them, slept near them, watched them grieve. Trust wasn't something you extended to someone. It was something you built over years of shared survival. And then one day, someone appeared from beyond the tree line that nobody recognized. What happened next defined everything.
Anthropologist Robin Dunbar at the University of Oxford has spent decades studying the size and structure of human social groups. His research suggests that the human brain evolved to maintain stable relationships with roughly 150 people, not because 150 is a meaningful number culturally, but because that's approximately the cognitive limit of genuine social trust. Beyond that number, something shifts. People become abstractions. They become strangers. But here's the thing. Your ancestors didn't always kill strangers, and they didn't always welcome them. What they did was far more interesting than either of those options. They watched. Primatologist Franz de Waal, who spent his career studying chimpanzees and bonobos at research centers across Europe and America, documented something remarkable. When a stranger approached a group, the group didn't immediately attack or immediately accept. There was a liminal period, a pause, where behavior was carefully observed. Small signals were exchanged. Posture, eye contact, the direction a body turned, whether hands were open or closed. Your ancestors did the same thing, only they had something chimpanzees didn't. They had ritual.
Archaeological evidence from sites across Africa, Europe, and the Near East suggests that early humans developed specific behaviors for the encounter with the unknown outsider. Gift exchange is one of the oldest documented human behaviors, found in burial sites dating back 40,000 years, where objects from distant regions appear alongside local remains. Someone brought something from far away. Someone received it. That transaction, that deliberate crossing of the boundary between self and other, is one of the earliest forms of diplomacy your species ever invented. Weird, right? The first foreign policy wasn't negotiated at a table. It was probably a piece of ochre or a carved bone passed between two people who had never seen each other before and weren't sure if they wanted to. Anthropologist Marshall Salins wrote extensively about what he called the original affluent society, early hunter-gatherer groups who, contrary to what most people assume, had significant leisure time and complex social lives. And one of the most consistent features of those social lives was the management of the boundary between insider and outsider. Who got in? Who stayed out? Who got to eat? Who got to sleep near the fire? Those decisions were never random. They followed rules. Unwritten, unspoken, but deeply felt rules about reciprocity, obligation, and debt. You share with me today. I owe you something tomorrow. That simple logic, embedded in the encounter with a stranger, is the foundation of every economy, every legal system, and every moral code your species has ever built. So what does that mean for you? Every time you hold a door open for someone you don't know, every time you leave a tip for a server you'll never see again, every time you feel the faint pull of obligation when someone does something kind for you, you are running ancient software, code written not in any language, but in the architecture of survival itself. But here's what's stranger still. Your ancestors didn't just fear the stranger, they needed them. Geneticist Svante Pääbo, who won the Nobel Prize in 2022 for his work on ancient DNA, has shown that early modern humans interbred with Neanderthals and Denisovans,
Species that were, by any definition, strangers. Not just from a different group, from a different branch of the human family tree. And yet somewhere, at some point, a meeting happened. And both parties chose something other than violence. You carry that choice in your genome right now. Roughly 1 to 4% of the DNA of most non-African people on Earth comes from Neanderthals. The stranger didn't stay a stranger. They became part of the lineage that eventually became you. And that's kind of beautiful. The history of humanity is not a story of tribes that kept to themselves until civilization forced them together. It is a story of groups that were always reaching across the boundary, cautiously, ritually, sometimes violently, sometimes generously, trying to figure out what the person on the other side of the tree line was going to do. That reaching never stopped. It just got faster. The tree line became a border. The gift exchange became trade. The ritual greeting became a handshake, a bow, a business card. The outsider who might be a threat became a colleague, a neighbor, a friend. None of it is new. All of it is ancient. The next time you pass someone on the street and your brain makes that split-second decision, friend or threat, know that you are doing something your species has been doing for hundreds of thousands of years. The face changes. The speed increases. The stakes feel lower. But the calculation is exactly the same. You see a stranger every single day, and without knowing it, without thinking about it, you are still doing what your ancestors did at the edge of the forest. You are deciding what kind of world you want to live in. You see a stranger every single day, and now you know exactly what that means. If this video meant something to you, share it with someone curious, with someone who passes 100 people every day without knowing they're running code written before language existed, with someone who needs reminding that kindness is older than civilization itself. Like this video if it changed how you see even one stranger today. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because the next question is already waiting at the tree line. And drop a comment below. Tell me what you felt. Tell me what changed. Tell me what you want to explore next. This channel exists because of people who stay till the end. So thank you. Genuinely. See you in the next one.